Well, the January transfer window is on the horizon, but first, we've got to deal with two big games in 3 days over the festive period. We face two of the relegated sides who are both up in that promotion mix, and if we want to stay in the top six, we're going to have to find a way to start getting points against them. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 13 of this FM06 Let's Retro Save from Luton Town with me, Daniel. Unlucky for some, will it be unlucky for us? Well, it's just been a bit of a bitty couple of months, to be honest. We've had a long unbeaten run, but also a long winless run in the same time. And while we did lose a game recently, we finally got our first victory in a while against Derby last time out. But now, with 2 games in 3 days, this squad is going to be tested. We have had a couple of odd loan players in, and the reason for that is that we have had so many injuries, honestly. The front players, just none of them able to sustain fitness. Today, I think we're without Steve Howard. We've been without Morgan for ages. We've been without Feeney at times. It's got to the point where it's been a little bit silly. So if you're looking forward to seeing how it goes today, then please do chuck a thumbs up on it. But let me take you over to the transfers first, because while there have been no heroes as such, we have had a couple of people pop in and out. So loans in, we had a centre forward who joined the club on the 18th of November, Arthur Gomez, made 2 sub appearances in the end. Didn't offer a lot despite his qualities on paper. It was sort of a trial as well to see if we wanted to get him on a free at the end of the season. Not to be, as it happens. I've also gone for a couple of ambitious end of contract deals, which I'm well aware we won't get, but I just thought it'd be funny to show you the names. Freddie Guarin has popped up as a 20-year-old Colombian international. He's out of contract in a month. We've offered him a deal, would solve our midfield problem for sure. He's also got offers from the likes of Frankfurt and Espanyol though, so I don't hold up much hope of him joining us. I've also gone for the 18-year-old US international Nick Bisagno, who I think will be a great addition if we can get him. Again, there was other interest, although not now. Just the work permit that might be the issue there. I've offered a pre-contract to Johnny Evans, who is lacking positioning but has the rest in this save. And at 19, still has time to improve. And we've also offered a deal to Sean DERRY, which I'll probably put through at the start of January. Yes, this game is so retro. It's the Sean DERRY long hair era. That's what we're talking about. 29-year-old from Leeds has offered to sign an 18-month deal on about £3,000 a week. So I think we'll probably put that one over the line, just as a good backup to Kevin Nichols. So we're getting those deals done, but we're still struggling up front. I've been trying to get Morgan a new deal, which he keeps refusing. So I'm probably going to have to try and sell him in January before he gets poached elsewhere. At the moment, he is out injured again. He's out of contract at the end of the year. And at the moment, he won't accept terms that are level with our contract. If he came down to £5,500, we'd be able to do it. But he hasn't. So at the moment, he keeps rejecting every offer we make, even with loads of add-ons. So he's not going to be staying at the current moment in time. The rest of the team, though, is as strong as it can be. You saw some of the other injuries there. Carlos Edwards, Steve Howard's out at the minute. It's not a great looking side. But in recent weeks, we've managed to largely pick up odd points here and there. It's probably my fault. I complained in the last episode, didn't I? We're not drawing enough games. I didn't really want to turn the wins into draws, but, you know, there's draws nonetheless. You were with me as we beat Palace and Plymouth 2-0. We then drew 0-0 away at Forest. That one, Andy O'Brien sent off for the second time this year. Maybe starting to see the reason Pompey gave him to us. The game after, a 2-1 win against QPR with Richard Hughes and hero Eddie Johnson off the bench. Not the first or last time we'll be saying that. We then drew 0-0 again at home to Cardiff. I mean, the positive is we're keeping a lot of clean sheets this year. A 0-0 draw in that one was a pretty good result. The complete opposite away at Leeds, a 3-3 draw with Coyne, Baraji and Feeney all scoring one apiece. Steve Howard producing his usual array of assists. Then another 0-0, this time at Sheffield Wednesday. A 2-1 defeat at Norwich where Dean Ashton was just too good for us, I'm afraid. Chris Coyne did get a consolation from a set piece. A 1-1 draw against Coventry thanks to Eddie Johnson again. And then Nichols and Feeney back at it as we got a 2-0 victory at Derby. A much needed win, our first since the QPR one. But now we've got to decide. There's 2 games in 3 days. After that, the fixture congestion does calm a little. But I expect us to get past Bury in the Cup, a League 2 side. And then maybe we have a bit more after that too. But for this one, we're just going to go for the strongest team we've got each game. There's no point trying to be clever. There's no point trying to mess around. There's a couple of people that have found form, morale and fitness, so they're going to stay in the team, despite the fact they're not our strongest players. And it does give us, by nature, a few good players to come in the next game, albeit many of them will then have poor morale. So Keenan is one of the ones to drop out, as is Richard Hughes. Andy O'Brien's had a sticky spell, so he's going to sit on the bench. Chris Brunt is also there with Eddie Johnson, who I would have started in place of Howard, but because he came on so early in the Derby game and played a lot of minutes the game before, he's come on for early injuries in both of them. He's not now fully fit, so he's on the bench. We'll replace Enoch Shawumi, who's just had an absolute stinker of a year. Bless him, his attributes are good, but no composure, no quality on the first touch, and I think, unfortunately, after this year, despite all the attributes suggesting he'll be great, his race might be run. It does mean, though, that we've got some of the old heroes back in. Essentially, bar the wingers, it is last year's team. Sol Davis is back in at left back, Heikkinen at centre half. We've got Keane back in alongside Nichols, and it's only really Baraggi and Newton who are carrying the wide positions, partly due to the injury to Edwards. So let's go and get into it and see how we get on. Alan McGregor, we've got the decision to make. I might have to loan him out and then loan in a keeper, because I really am stunting his development. But Lee Grant's having a solid year, and I'm not going to drop him out. Well, to give it a little bit of perspective here, look at some of the players in this Birmingham team. Mario Melchiot's there, Walter Pandiani up front with Forcell, Muzzy Izzard still going strong in the middle, and Jermaine Pennant over on the right. This is a side that, well, it should be winning the league, and you look at it at the moment, they're top of the table, they're looking fantastic. This is going to be one of our toughest tests. Pompey have had a tougher time, as Forcell from distance nearly beats Grant, and I hope we can get a result against them, but even with Pompey, we've had frustration. We tried to bring Matty Taylor back to the club again. He rejected us to go to Southampton, that club that keeps popping up to thwart us this year. 210 grand that would have been. I am trying to spend money this season. That's my point. I get moaned at a lot for not spending much money, but I have been trying to splash the cash. It's just not been possible for now. As we go through 10 minutes, we've survived it, but we're second best on this pitch at the minute. And without Steve Howard up front, we've looked so lacking in threat going forward. Muzzy Izzard has just curled in a beauty. We know a lot of free kicks going in this game. At least they go round the wall properly, rather than the ones in FM24. But Birmingham are on their way, and what we didn't need was a moment of inspiration, because it's going to be hard enough for us here. We're just a minute later, and we're back with Mario Melchiot's throw-in. Jermaine Pennant beats Sol Davis there, and Nichols unable to deal with it in midfield. Pandiani looks for Kilkenny, who's running through on goal. Heikkinen's been caught out, I think, and he's gone through. It's a good save from Grant. Probably not the day to pick some of our slower defenders, was it? I hope it's worth it against Pompey. We've got a free kick of our own, though, with Kevin Nichols. Can he level the score? Not quite as good as his counterpart, but he did test the keeper. It's behind by Jamie Clapham for a corner kick. Let's see if we can make it count. We've not got Howard in there, but there's still plenty of height as Newton looks for Heikkinen. Kenny Cunningham is there to save the day. 1-0, but a little sign of life from Luton. And at last, an attack on a Birmingham goal. As we continue straight from the throw-in, actually. Kevin Foley's got a chance to throw in. Newton's down the line and can cross. Good ball in. Tipped away to Feeney. Brilliant defending, it's got to be said. Didn't give him any time to apply the finish. And Pennant can now break away. Down the right and over halfway, Sol Davis has very little chance of catching him. But Chris Coyne does well to hold him up. And look at Warren Feeney. All the way back to return it to Lee Grant. That's superb. Nichols can now look for the counter. Enoch Shawumi can't keep it in. We're definitely not good enough at this level. The top 2 or 3 sides in the division are just so far clear of the rest this year. You look at Palace and Norwich at their best. You look at this Birmingham side. It's frightening. As Pennant again to the byline. Cross to Pandiani, who's been left unmarked, which is ill-advised. Stephen Clements with a rebound tipped over. We're going to see a lot of this game, aren't we? We've had a few matches where we've barely seen a highlight. Well, this one's going to be very different as Melchiot gets the ball from the corner and Baraggi will clear downfield. It's clinging on for dear lifetime. 25 gone. I'm glad it's only 1. Well, 5 minutes later, as we pass the half-hour mark, Sol Davis has picked up a booking and Nichols has nicked the ball high up. Feeney can play a 1-2 with Shawumi. Decides to go right to Newton instead. To the byline he goes. Crossing to Feeney's unmarked. Warren Feeney out of nowhere. 1-1. Boy, is that not deserved, but Sean Newton produces some magic, and Warren Feeney is finally back to full fitness, and he scored a goal. I don't think it's going to keep us level for long, but it has put us level. If nothing else, we can celebrate the moment, as Chris Coyne heads away for Baraji. Great football. Baraji breaks towards Feeney. Flicked on for Shawunmi. Could it be a turnaround? Into the box he goes. Baraji gets the loose ball. Shoots just wide. Oh, it's starting to turn a little bit. Luton are applying some pressure. 10 to the break. Kevin Foley with a throw. And it's up towards Shawunmi again, who does well. Gets the flick on for Baraji, who's through on goal. Weaker right side. Cunningham brings him down. He's through, ref. You've got to give the red. You have got to give a red card there. He was in the box. He was one-on-one. It's a definite goal-scoring opportunity. You bottled it. You have bottled that. Every day of the week, that's a red card. He's about to shoot one-on-one. Nichols with a penalty, though. And we turn the game around, if nothing else. We should be playing 10 now. Kenny Cunningham, you lucky boy. But we're 2-1 up. Kevin Nichols puts us ahead. And that has been a superb 10 minutes after being plastered for 25. So we are now defending a set piece as Jermaine Pennant on the edge of the box. Cleared away by Heikkinen, and Feeney will chase. Clapham and Melchior there defending. Canmore and Feeney put the pressure on. He forces it back to the keeper. Long ball forward towards Pandiani, who beats Coyne in the air. And now he's in no man's land because Forsell's through against his Finnish teammate in Heikkinen. Lee Grant to the rescue in goal again. Baraji clears the ball downfield. And the pressure's not gone because, look, the centre-halves are in our half of the pitch. Baraji gets it clear, though, does really well. Melchior beats Shawunmi. A really good 10 minutes for Luton. Can we make it to half-time? Well, 2 minutes added on, and we have made it to the break. Despite Birmingham's domination, they trail at the interval. We're not going to complain about that. We're going to say we're pleased with the performance so far. I'm going to have to bring on Joe Keenan at left-back because Pennant is tearing Davis apart, and he's already on a yellow card as well. We'll give it another 10 before we do anything else. Ideally, I like to bring on Eddie Johnson later for Shawunmi, so I feel that gives us more of a goal threat. And then maybe Hughes for Foley, looking at it at a minute. There's another free kick, this time for Clapham. Can't be scoring 2 in a game. Good save from Lee Grant. Not the best start to the half, though. The domination continues for the visitors. There's a big ball out to the left for Clements, and now Kilkenny. Out to Jamie Clapham. Big ball towards Pandiani, who's bullying us, but not Kevin Foley, who gets it away to Feeney. Switches to Keenan. Big ball up towards Shawunmi. Can he win a flick? He does. Cunningham gets enough on it, and Pandiani can break clear, but Keenan beats Pennant. That's what we were missing. Coyne, that's terrible. What are you doing? Don't play a square pass when you're the last man. Pandiani's in. It's brilliant from Lee Grant. But Chris Coyne, come on, you're better than that. As Foley gets the ball to Newton. Can we nick another one on the break? Sean Newton down the right-hand side. Big cross in towards Shawunmi. It's palmed away. I actually went to this game in real life that season. We won it 3-2. It's when Birmingham had all the Arsenal boys on loan. Your likes of Bentner, Giroud, Seb Larson, etc. Here, they've not got that. They've got experience. They've got quality. But we've got a corner with Keenan. Shawunmi's up. Still goalless for the season. Keenan crosses again. Chris Coyne up and Shawunmi. Cunningham, who shouldn't be on the pitch, gets it away. Baraji with a chance to shoot. Deflects to Feeney. And he can't get enough on it. Through to the goalkeeper. It remains 2-1. And Birmingham can counter now. We've got past the hour mark. We're looking okay second half. Newton's won it back again in the opposition territory. And a clearance deflects to Keith Keane, who just starts again. Heikkinen up towards Feeney under no pressure at all. And he goes back to Coyne. He's got options out wide. Foley's the one he chooses, who switches diagonal to Shawunmi. Wins a brilliant flick on for Feeney. And he's through to the keeper. It's been a better performance second half. But now we've got a knock. Keith Keane has picked up an injury. He'll be replaced by Richard Hughes. And Eddie Johnson on for the fatigued Shawunmi. Can these two offer enough to get us through the game? 20 minutes remaining. Please don't be any more injuries. And please let us hold on, because this would be crucial. As Baraji's got a throw on the left to Eddie Johnson, the sub. Plays the 1-2. Baraji cuts inside. Newton's unmarked. Got a score. Oh, straight at the keeper. Either side, it's a goal. Had to put that away. Nazi Cucci is on for Birmingham, a player we tried to loan when Howard was out the first time. They didn't let us have him, as Heikkinen picks the ball up and goes long towards Johnson. Loses the flick on as we've not got the 6-foot striker anymore. Johnson does hold up though, plays a great one too with Baraji. Feeney's in the middle if he can find him. Up to the back post, Newton's there. But Clapham heads away for a corner. 5 to go, and we're the ones looking for a third if anything. Birmingham have left 2 forward, which concerns me, as Keenan delivers in. Baraji loses out, and now they're away. Muzzy Izzard will look for Pennant, and Foley's going to have to defend this well. He's forced him back. That's brilliant. The switch still goes towards Cucci, though. Nichols will have to mop up, and he's not the quickest. He does enough. Out for a throw-in. Brilliant defensive effort so far. 1 minute plus stoppage time to go, and you've guessed it, Birmingham have got the ball again. They've gone more direct this time, but Chris Coyne does well, and there are gaps in their defence now as Feeney breaks away, goes from distance. That's a little ambitious. But you've got to say, this has been a wonderful display. We're really starting to show quality. It's amazing what happens when you've got people fit, but without Howard, we've done really well in this one. Izzet loses out to Keenan, Feeney breaks away, and now it's sort of a 5-on-4. Richard Hughes finds Nichols. Feeney's to his right, he finds him. Shots blocked towards Johnson, Melchiot's there. And does enough to clear to Muzzy Izzet. Now it's Birmingham on the attack, end-to-end stuff. Can we do enough to hold on? Melchiot with a big switch towards Jermaine Pennant. Heikkinen does well. Eddie Johnson brings down for Feeney. Hughes with the first touch is good. Melchiot's on the end of that to stop Baraji getting in. Chaos at the end as Keenan's caught upfield. And Muzzy Izzet puts it out for a throw. Let me just get our fullbacks back because they've gone 4 up front. And I don't want us to get caught ahead of the ball too often. So what we're going to do is just put Foley, forward runs very rarely. And the same for Joe Keenan on the other side. Let's make sure there's no gaps at the back for us, because if we can catch him on the counter, this would be a great win. As Keenan's got the throw, 2 minutes of stoppage time gone. Can't remember how long there was as he gets a 1-2 with Baraji. And now Feeney cross the box to Johnson, who's not there. Oh, should have gone himself. Heikkinen wins it though for Nichols. Up towards Baraji, who can't keep it in. How many minutes are there, ref? When is it going to end? There's going to be at least 3, isn't there? As Coyne wins it again for Baraji. Superb. Johnson can't get there the second time. Heikkinen, no match against Pennant. That's brilliant. And Keenan can pick it up on the left. Big ball to Baraji, who's in behind. Lovely stuff. We've got to score from here. Baraji into the box. Melchiot chasing, does well. Hughes wins it again, no for Newton. And it's cleared as far as Heikkinen. Into Hughes in the middle. Looks up for Feeney, who can't get there. And this is a worrying one. But Foley against Pennant. And the Irishman gets there. Brilliant stuff. Back to Lee Grant. Still going as it's long towards Baraji. Nail-biting stuff, but Melchiot fouls him. And that has got to be it. Keenan on the left-hand side. Free kick to Coyne. Lee Grant picks it up. Goes long towards Richard Hughes. He flicks on for Feeney. Up to Johnson. Baraji's left. Lovely football. Could we finish with a flourish? Baraji's forced back to Keenan in the end, who plays a 1-2 with him. Baraji to the byline. Chance to cross. In they go. Keeper does well. Where is the final whistle, referee? The keeper's put it straight out, which is brilliant stuff. And it does go. Luton Town 2. Championship leaders Birmingham 1. I've kicked something in excitement, but it was a brilliant win. And the second half performance was sensational. We were battered for the first half, but held on. And Feeney and Nichols combine again to give us a priceless win over the festive period. Let's hope that the Keith Keane injury isn't bad. And we'll be back in 2 days' time as we face Pompey, another tough relegated side. Well, 2 days later, and we return to face Pompey, who have dropped to 9th after their difficult festive period. We're up in 4th place, 9 points above them, and 5 clear of the edge of the playoffs. But there's still a big gap to the top couple. Norwich have dropped off a little bit weirdly, but we're in a decent position here, and we are armed today if we look at the squad, with new signing Shaun Derry, who may come straight in due to Keane having that knock the other day and not being particularly fit as a result, so might get a place on the bench. We've also got decisions to make up front where everyone is 90% rather than 100, and we have had a pre-agreed deal done for Nick Basagno, but the work permit is going to cost us, I can tell. I'm also trying to get legend Greg Halford. He's back from his loan elsewhere and actually is probably the best option as a replacement for Steve Howard. So if we could get him in, that would be great. And we love the long throw as well. Let's, though, go and get through to the team today. We're going to make a couple of adjustments to this. We'll be back in a minute for kickoff against another relegated side. Pompey are going to be strong, but will we be strong enough to deal with it? Well, a very aggressive Christmas tree for Pompey going forward. The experience of Stefan Everson and Lauren Robert up there. Gary O'Neill, Michael Stewart, John Harley and Dejan Stefanovic at the back is a good team. We, though, have gambled up front. We've gone for Howard, dropped out the tired Shawumi. Johnson remains on the bench. Hughes is in for Keane, who drops out entirely, with Shaun Derry possibly making his debut as a sub. And then we've also gone for Joan Keenan back in at left back after his good sub appearance in the week. So let's go and get ahead to the first half of this one. Doesn't promise to be easy. They're fitter than us, bar Stefanovic at the back. But we have had a good season in comparison, and we've got a couple of their former players in the squad. Hughes is starting, O'Brien's on the bench, and hopefully they'll be really up for this as Stefan Everson breaks away for a minute. Coyne does well to clear it though. Not sure Howard's going to get that one. His pace, incidentally, Steve Howard, has dropped from 6 to 2 over the last year or so. He really is starting to decline physically, and it's just a build-up of all these injuries in the last 12 months. 10 minutes gone here. It's been pretty quiet so far. But Lee Grant has got the big ball towards Steve Howard. Wins the flick on. He's never going to lose that. And Baraggi can break down the left. He slowed up for some reason. Gets into the box though, and that's why. He was just waiting for his man to come and foul him. Brilliant play, Baraggi again. Man of the match 2 days ago. And starts on fire here. Gets Viafara the yellow card. Gives Kevin Nichols a penalty. And hopefully this is a chance to go 1-0 up. Kevin Nichols begins his run-up. Would be a brilliant start here. Up against the keeper. Can he deliver? Oh, he's saved. His first missed penalty at a save. A year and a half. He's finally missed one. Kevin Nichols puts it straight at the keeper. Oh, I just sort of got complacent and thought it was never going to happen. The 20 rating, it's been beaten at last. Hopefully that's not the start of a run as Warren Feeney to Foley. We're still going well. Howard's up against Smith. Don't say the keeper's going to have the game of his life, please. 21 minutes gone. It's all Luton Town. But at the moment, we've missed some glorious chances and they're going to come back to haunt us as Keenan delivers. Nearly beats everyone. Paul Smith to the rescue again. Are we going to be able to deal with a counter? Because we know how many they're going to commit forward. The big ball up towards Gary O'Neill. Kevin Foley there first though. Nichols clears towards Baraggi, who doesn't win it. And now O'Neill's breaking in behind. Keeper's come. That's a bad decision. Lee Grant, what are you doing? Not today. He's so good and solid most of the time, but he throws in 1 or 2 a year. There was no reason for him to come. And this is the opposite to the last game, isn't it? Seems to be the way this year. We win a game we don't deserve to, then lose one where we should be winning. But here we are anyway, as Anderson looks for Stewart. Is that going to turn the match on its head? Lauren Robert, we know he's got quality. Shot from distance is over. But Pompey's stronger since the goal. And unfortunately, we don't look to have much inspiration as Foley chips up towards Feeney. Headed away by Stefanovic, but Foley's there again. Lauren Robert closing him down and he's just taken too long. He had passes there. I don't know what he was waiting for. But fair play, he's made amends and won it back. Now he's been caught again. Just pass it. There's 2 players right there. Just pick the ball up. Pass it 5 yards. It's not difficult. Everson to Viafara. Robert's going to get it. And we could end up 2 down in a game where they've had no chances really. Viafara to Stewart. Back to Anderson. The shot's well wide, but seriously, have a little bit of composure. The sun has come out right on cue to smash my face here. But let's see if we can get an attack at the end of the first half and get back on terms because Nichols finds Howard and he's wide to Newton. Set a goal up in the last game. Delivers again towards Steve Howard and he heads just wide. I mean, the match stats are fairly even. But we've missed a penalty kick and Pompey have somehow got the lead out of this. Kevin Nichols has now got a yellow card. It's been a frustrating half for him. And this could be one of those that got away. Let's go and tell the lads that I'm going to encourage. I'm going to say we can win this. You've played all right. I'm not going to criticise too much here. Are we going to finish the stronger? We've got fresh legs on the bench that could make a difference. As Kevin Nichols, he's fallen apart since he's missed that penalty. He now passes a free kick straight to their left back, who sets away Stefan Everson. And Chris Coyne has saved the day. Fair play to him. Joe Keenan will keep it in. Plays long down the line. I think I'm going to have to take him off. Sean Derry's going to get an earlier than expected debut. Because Kevin Nichols is having a worse game of his life, though. Feeney's picked up a short back pass. He's got Stefanovic to beat. Down the right-hand side, Newton's making a run into the middle. Howard and Baraggi are there. Baraggi's in. Another former Pompey player. It's over the bar towards Richard Hughes. Can't score against his former club. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Keenan's got the chance to deliver. Coyne is up. Can't win it. It's back to Keenan again, though. Back post towards Baraggi. Loses out. And it's long downfield. I'm going to have to save Kevin Nichols from himself here. Let's just get this done. He's still rated 7, which I can't believe. But Nichols is going to come off for Sean Derry. Hughes will switch sides with him. And hopefully, that'll just shore us up a bit because he's not recovered from missing that spot kick. Well, almost an hour on the clock. It means a new free kick taker in Joe Keenan. And Paul Smith to the rescue again. He's had a great game, the keeper. What a time for it as well. As Foley goes long towards Howard, loses out. Stefan Everson chasing. Oh, he's not that quick. Stefan Everson is not that quick. I'm sorry. Beats Heikkinen and puts it over. And the pressure continues. We might have to make more subs here and just gamble. As Foley plays in towards Newton. Loses out to John Harley. Back pass is dodgy. Smith deals with it though, as he has everything today. Harley released again down the left. Robert beats him. Harley down the left-hand side with a chance to cross. Delivers to Lauren Robert and in on the rebound. Game over. 1 win and 1 defeat from today's episode. And this one, it's been our better performance of the two. It's a very frustrating day. But Lauren Robert's playing in the championship for Portsmouth. And unfortunately, we don't have that quality in our team. We're going to make a change on the left-hand side. Baraji's tired and will be replaced by Davis. And I think I'm also going to take off Steve Howard here because there's no point gambling with him. We need him fit for the rest of the season. So Eddie Johnson will come on. And hopefully, I meant to bring on Brunt, not Davis, sorry, there on the left. Let's do that again. Chris Brunt for Baraji and Eddie Johnson for Steve Howard. Into the final 25 minutes. And Lauren Robert is, unfortunately, a bit of a one-man show, but look at the quality. We can't compete with that. Well, free kick for Lauren Robert again. Into Gary O'Neill, tipped away and cleared away as far as Warren Feeney. But Pompey have built confidence from this, and it's the one issue. We've not got those strikers in form this year. You can't afford to miss penalties. As Richard Hughes plays a 1-2 with Johnson, it eventually comes to Chris Brunt. He breaks down the left-hand side to Johnson. Gardner's flown in at him there. Surely a foul. And surely a yellow card, but not given again. As Chris Brunt delivers, Feeney can't quite get on the end of it. And Paul Smith is there yet again. I'm a bit sick of his name today. But then again, Pompey spent over £1 million on him in the summer. We can't afford to spend £1 million. That was our entire budget for this year's season. And to be fair, we spent a lot of that on Baraji. As Gardner gets the ball wide, new centre-halves on here. Anderson breaks it to Stewart. I don't think we're going to get to test them. Lauren Robert going for the one-man show again. That one's wide of the post. It's all Pompey at the minute. We've sort of crumbled since the second goal. Well, Paul Smith's match rating was a 9. It's just dropped back to an 8. Will he get one more chance to save the day? Sean DERRY, first time I've seen him touch the ball, to be honest, but at least he's not done what Kevin Nichols has today. Long towards Newton on the right. Feeney's in the middle. Can we help the goal difference at least? We can. That's going to be a crucial goal because this goal difference battle's going to be tight at the top. We need to keep our strikers in form. And Warren Feeney has got his 15th for the year. With Dean Morgan likely leaving for free in the summer, Feeney being in form is crucial. Who knows, we might even get a big offer for him. We're not going to get the point out of this game. We've certainly given a decent account of ourselves. I'd have probably taken 1 win and 1 defeat at the start of the episode. I'd have taken 2 draws, so by that account, 3 points is probably fine. If we look at the league table though, just makes things a bit more tense. 4 points to the playoffs, 7 to the top 2, which was never going to happen. That top 3 are running away with it. But again, no worry of relegation. We can think about the playoffs. But that goal, again, just helped us out on the goal difference front. Kept us clear of the rest of the chasing pack outside the playoffs. Let's go and have a look at the schedule, though, for when we're going to be back. There's a few managers are getting sacked left, right and centre. Because we have got some big games coming up and a big January window. I guess it will depend on if we get through in the cup and who we get. But otherwise, there's a lot of big games in February. We'll probably come back for 2 of them. And then later in the season, Wolves and Palace. That's a double header I'm targeting. So 1 in between now and then Wolves and Palace. If you're looking forward to it, you did enjoy this one, and you're eager to see which of those January signings we get over the line, let me give you a little bit of a spoiler. We're not going to get Freddie Guar in. And please do put a thumbs up on it. If you've enjoyed this season, then please do subscribe and turn that notification bell on because we'll be continuing every weekday at 4:30 with our nostalgia road trips. We'll keep playing this safe for now, and then we've got more on the way after too. Let me know if you think we get a playoff place this year, or do I need to go and bite the bullet and do more January work? Bearing in mind we've only got 200 grand left to spend. And equally, if you are a championship fan, you can come and follow us over on the podcast channel where we've got current championship predictions for every single match day. For now though, thank you very much for watching and following along for another week. It's going to be a big one, it's going to be a tense one, but will it finish with Luton Town in a playoff place? I'll see you throughout the week as we attempt to find out.